Hi, this is Mark Goldstein, along with my colleague Shelley Kriegler from the Center for Mathematics and Teaching. We worked together in the math department at UCLA for about a decade, and then about 13 years ago, we left the university to form CMAT. We develop middle school mathematics curriculum and resources, and we support teachers in using them. Our second editions of grades 6 through 8 MathLinks core courses recently launched, and we're really proud of the way they turned out. This video focuses on what we call activity routines, which are engaging student activities that recur throughout each course. We're going to share 5 of our favorite ones with you, and later you can find out how to get free files so you can try them with your students. What's an activity routine? The way we see it, they're activities that are engaging and interesting, and we think they can be lots of fun. They show up frequently enough for students to get used to them. They address a variety of teaching and learning goals. They can be used with practically any topic at any grade level. And they're pretty easy to introduce. Most take only minutes before students understand how to do them. These activity routines are the ones we're featuring today. And we're offering you a free file with sample activities that also includes directions on how to start implementation and also templates so you can make your own if you want to. To make sure students get used to the routines, we created sets of them that are either non-mathy or very math accessible. This way, students can learn the ins and outs of each one without being overwhelmed with newly learned mathematics. Let's start with big square puzzles. Pictured here is an 8th grade example of where you see 5 of the 16 pieces of the puzzle. Continue matching up equivalent edges like this to create this big square. We're also providing a template so you can make your own anytime you want to. On to 4 in a row, which might seem very familiar because it's similar to the commercial game called Connect 4. The first player to get 4 of their counters in a row, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, is the winner. Using 2 of some kind of objects, players choose a value or expression from box A and box B, then perform the required mathematical skill and place their counter on the appropriate result to strategically get their 4 in a row. Let's take a look at an example. In this sample game with 7th grade content, we'll use these open objects and counters so we can all see the expressions being used. I'm going to start. I'll choose these expressions from box A and box B. Since -2 times the quantity x minus 2 equals -2x plus 4, I'll place my green counter on that expression to claim that position. Soon, Shelley is going to take her turn. But I want to emphasize that from here on out, players can move only one of the objects in either box A or box B to strategically create their expression that they think is a good move. So Shelley, what are you going to move?
Thanks, Mark. I'm going to move from -2 to 2 and create the expression 2x minus 4 so that I can block you on the right.
Okay. I'm going to move the x minus 2 to 1/2 x minus 1 to make the expression x minus 2. So players continue alternating turns like this, moving only one object in the boxes for the remainder of the game until a winner gets 4 in a row. Try making your own 4 in a row game using the template. Here's the start of making a game using the same equations worksheet as before. On to match and compare sorts, which are great for reviewing vocabulary in a very rich way. Here you see 8 vocabulary words from a 6th grade algebra unit. And And here are descriptions of these words. Notice that half of the cards have triangles on them and the other half have circles. Make sure to cut apart the 16 cards before giving them to students. Pairs of students start their work individually and then put their heads together to finish the activity. One student matches their triangle word cards and description cards like this. And the other student is doing the same with their circle cards. After some discussion, they agree that their cards are all matched correctly, and then they fill in this page together. They record the words in the table, and then they do some comparing and contrasting in the Venn diagram at the bottom. And this is the finished product with constant and coefficient chosen as an example of words to compare and contrast. Teachers can then prompt students to pick other pairs of words to discuss similarly as desired. Poster problems were so popular in our previous courses that we made them into a routine that appears in every unit of all 3 of our courses. This collaborative review activity has students traveling around the room working on different parts of multi-part problems. To set up, you'll need space around the room for groups to do their work. What's usually used is poster paper, butcher paper, whiteboard space, or even taped together smaller pieces of paper. Sometimes you'll need grid paper too. Students are put into groups. Each group gets their own marker of a different color to distinguish their work from the other groups. Students count off as group members A, B, C, and D, and are assigned a starting poster. When doing poster problems, all students contribute to all parts of all problems, but only one student at a time does the writing. For this set, students are practicing the work they did in a unit on linear functions. They move to their start poster and are ready to begin. From experience, we think there should be one poster for every 3 or 4 students. And because there are 4 distinct problems, it's best to have 4, 8, or 12 posters, depending upon the number of students in the class. So repeat the 4 given problems as needed. When the posters are in place and the students are ready to go, they can move to their start posters. The A students have the group pen, but remember that all students are thinking, talking, and contributing at every poster for every problem. They complete part A and make sure they do part A only. And then the teacher gives them the signal to shift to the next poster. When they're settled in, student B now has the pen. Direct groups to read the new, similar problem, review the work done by the previous group, and make any corrections or additions to the work as needed. Then they continue with part B. Let me stress again that all students are contributing, but only B students are writing. Then it's time to shift again when given the signal. Now they're at their third stop and continue in the exact manner as of the previous poster. Student C now has the pen. They read and review the work again and make any corrections or additions to the work as needed. They do the next part and shift when given the signal. Now they should be at their final stop. Student D now has the pen. They read and review work again and make any corrections or additions to the work as needed. They do the next part, and now they're done. Let me reiterate that these poster problems were so popular in the past that we made one for all 10 units in all 3 of our courses. And now, on to the last activity routine we're sharing with you today. Do you remember the Cookie Monster singing "One of these things is not like the other"? Or more recently, have you used a "which one doesn't belong" puzzle? Why doesn't it belong is our take on these old ideas. Here's a 6th grade statistics version where students try to find a reason why each of the 4 values does not belong with the others. Students might notice that 12 is the only value that's actually a data point in the set. or that 5 appears to be the first quartile data point, or that 39 appears to be an outlier. Here's a grade 7 version with answers for practicing expressions. The goal is to get students thinking and talking so that ideas are shared and understanding is deepened. No template is needed really for these, since it's usually just 4 numbers or expressions placed in a 2x2 square. If you're curious, here's a list of all of our activity routines. These ones are great for discussion. These are for review. And these are for both. And these are the 5 that we just looked at. If you want to know more about any of these, please contact us. Finally, here's some contact information and our website. For more general information about new courses, go here. Though not everything's available to the public, there are versions of our student materials available to view. Go here if you're interested in piloting. And to get the activity routine files, or if you have any questions about course content, contact me. Thanks so much for watching.